Well, just so you guys know who I am, my name's Andrew. I used to be a disaster response technician in the Air Force. That's 242XO if any of you want to look it up to verify it. It's chemical, biological warfare, or nuclear defense, actually. How do you say that? Chemical, biological, nuclear warfare defense. What I did was prepare troops for combat if our enemies used alternative combat other than conventional. And that's gas mask training, so pretty much we weren't real liked, but that's typical of that job. I've noticed this COVID-19 is it's pretty nasty. I'm not really sure what the incidence of infection or the death rate is based on the news, because to tell you the truth, it's not that the news is bad or fake, it's just that we're getting too many conflicting reports and the government's not really releasing real numbers, which is confusing. And that added to the videos I have on here about toilet paper and people hoarding stuff they don't need to hoard. And somewhere in the United States, I'm sure somebody has about 2 million rolls of toilet paper. And the rest of us out here are going to be using leaves and destroying the sewer system pretty soon, because no one's thought of that in the government yet. I don't think they've really got anything going for them if they don't know that. That's the next step. People will start destroying stuff to make stuff work because they can't get it in the public, and they can't get it in the public because the companies aren't doing their job. That's normal panic buying. It follows the same reasoning. If anybody finds out what happens when a virus like this strikes, go look up the World of Warcraft viruses that have been set loose a couple times, and I've been through those because I'm a gamer. I'm disabled, so that's what I do. But you'll find out if you go online and look at that, you'll find the panic is what causes most of the damage. And right now, nobody, and I mean nobody, is doing anything about the panic. Our news is all based on how much worse it can be every day. And that's how you sell news, because people aren't going to watch it if they just said show happy puppies all day long. If they really want to do it, show cat videos or puppy videos, and people would be happy and they wouldn't care. But they're not going to do that. So they're going to keep showing the worst case scenario and panicking people into more of this. A lot of you didn't live through this, but back in the 70s, one of the entertainers out there, Johnny Carson, said there was a toilet paper shortage, and by saying that, made people go into a panic to buy all the toilet paper. So just be aware that the panic is causing all these problems, and they need a real schedule of what the incidence of infection is and the death rate. Because if they're saying what's correct out of Italy, this is about half again worse than the 1918 flu in the infection rate and in the death rate. It does differ because the death rate from the 1918 flu was mostly young, healthy people. But mind you, viruses can mutate, and if you do look at the past one, it wasn't as bad the first time, but after the summer, when it came back the second time, is when it did the most damage and killed the most people. So, kids, maybe you ought to isolate yourself now rather than partying, because if you do pick it up, you just don't know which version you're going to get. It's probably a good idea to just learn to play a lot of video games and stay at home. But I'll talk on it later if something of importance comes up.